Hi, everybody. You're probably wondering who the hell I just share my screen. Just to let you know, my name is Meg, and I'm here to talk to you about how we can go and create our own Ride to Riches story, and basically to eliminate a lot of the confusion around the different ways to get rich by breaking it down into basically bite-sized nuggets. And I do have a few pictures if it works. This is actually my first time doing this whole setup. So this should be a fun journey for both of us. So let's just get along for the ride. So you're probably wondering, who the heck am I to know what I'm talking about? I've actually owned, operated, or run a lot of different businesses and different types of businesses. So everything from the mom and pop type of shop or entrepreneur, start from the grassroots all the way up. I've also done franchising and licensing. I have done the MLM network marketing kind of thing. I have also developed businesses for people, so I've helped people develop their own business, and I've worked on business plans with them and things like that. So I've had a lot of different experience with different types of businesses, and I've definitely seen the pros and cons of a lot of them. So I'm going to share with you what my own experience and knowledge and wisdom that I've kind of gained from that would be, and what I think from all of that is the best way to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is, first of all, let's talk about the different ways that we can actually earn income. So I'm just going to very quickly go here. I'm going to start at the bottom, just kind of do a counterclockwise. So there's 4 different ways you can actually get income. And one is you can be an investor. So if you've got a lot of money and you can invest it in stocks or invest it in property. And there's a lot of different things you can invest in. And the idea is to get that money back. And not a bad idea. A lot of people do investing. It only does account for about 5% of the population because you need an exorbitant amount of money to get those kind of returns. The next one up is business owner. So that's when you normally have usually more than 10 people on your staff, and your business runs itself. And in a way where you can actually step away from it and it'll just kind of keep working and you can still get the profit from it. So that's also a form of residual income to be a business owner. 95% of the wealth in the world comes from people who own their own businesses in some shape or form. And then the next one over we have is be employed, get a job. Nothing wrong with getting a job. Sometimes that's just where you are in your life, in your place of life, and sometimes that's all you can handle doing, and that's okay. But it only accounts for 5% of the wealth in the world. And we're going to talk a little bit more about why being an employee, you may want to reconsider that position. The next thing that we have is self-employed. Yes, you do own your own business. Yes, you are your own boss. But the thing here is that you're still an employee in the sense that it's for yourself. Which means that if you have a small company, say 5 people or less in the company, or even just yourself, if something happens to you, your money stops. You don't get money coming in anymore. The same thing with being an employee. If you have a sick day, or if you, for whatever reason, can't work anymore, your money shuts down. And that's why it only accounts for 5% of the wealth and 95% of the population in this world. You look on the right side, you're looking at 95% of the wealth in 5% of the population. In which they have developed a system that gives them money even if they're not working that business. So I'm just gonna move here, and I'm hoping that this works. We'll see what happens. So what is residual income? So I'm going to talk about what residual income is, because the people who are investors and own their own businesses are living off of residual income. That's what creates the luxury. So basically it's a passive income. It's a recurring income. It's money earned long after work has been completed, which means that they've invested all the time and the effort in the beginning so that further down the road that they're able to get that money back. Income generators when you're no longer on the clock. So what that basically means in a nutshell is time leverage. So instead of having to put in all the hours to get the same amount of money, you put in less hours to get more money. And essentially it's basically freedom. And this is the golden dream that everybody is after, is to get that freedom. So here's the next thing we're going to talk about here. Why is residual income versus having a job or even your own business, like a self-employed kind of business, a big deal? The thing is that you have to put in 100% effort to get 100% of the income, okay? And that's from a job. If you have a passive income, you only need to put in 10% effort but she's still going to get that 100% income. So it's all about how much effort goes into getting that money in your pocket. And that's why a lot of the rich people, this is how they make their money. So we're going to have a look here. So poor people, basically, they have money from a job, and it's just enough money to cover your basic goods. Sometimes if you're in the middle class level, you're going to get some money for some comfort, but you will never get enough money for luxury. And here is why. When you look at the next picture, now we're looking at a rich person setup. And how that looks is, you get your income. Usually people in the middle class are obviously having a lot more income from their job or their work. But even if they are on the lower end, it's enough to cover their basic goods. But if you look on the left side at the passive income, that's the money that's coming in, that's giving them the comfort and the luxury that they're able to have. And that's the difference between the poor class and the rich class. So, I mean the money, right? So I'm going to talk about the different ways that we can do residual income, because residual income is really where the money is. So one, you can invest in property. Now, that does take a lot of money because you need capital to invest in a property. And people make money from property either by renting it out or by flipping. And that's why flipping is so popular right now, because they're realizing the benefit of getting that. The problem with that is that you have to have an exorbitant amount of cash, and it can take a while to get going. You also have to have a staff. So all of your contractors, your construction, you have all of your permits and all of the different people that are involved. Side note, I used to be a carpenter, okay? So I'm very familiar about construction and flipping because I've actually been involved in flipping houses as well. There's a lot more involved than just being able to buy a house, renovate it, and take all the profits. There's a lot of expenses involved. The next one that you can do for residual income is investing in like your dividends, your stocks, okay? I think that's pretty straightforward. Again, the thing about this is that you need to know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can make a very costly mistake. And that's why there's a lot of people who are not doing this, because they don't know what they're doing. And the people that do know what they're doing, they're investing. And when they do invest, they invest heavily. We're not talking $5 stocks here. We're talking thousands and thousands of shares. The next one is banks. So, and I say banks, it's a very small return on income, but if you think of things like tax-free savings account, or somewhere like, you know, the bonds or whatnot, bank bonds, for example, it's very small and it's very long term, okay? So if you think of, like, for example, your retirement savings, okay? You're putting money in, but it's going to take a long time to get that interest back because they're usually very small. Number 4 is royalty. So royalties are things like, you know, very popular, the music, right? So somebody creates music and they get royalties off the music when it starts selling. You can also get royalties off of books. So people who write books or even ebooks, you can get royalties off of that. You can also get royalties off of patents. So say you invent something, you create a patent for it and somebody wants to use it, you can get royalties off of that, which is really great. I have zero talent in any of these areas. So for me, that's really not a viable choice. But for someone who's got the talent and that talent actually gets them banking money, royalties is a great idea. So number 5 is actually new because it's, we're in the age of technology, we're in the age of social media. So we're in a very different, there's a very different dynamic going on right now in being able to make money. So online space is, for example, when somebody is has become a very famous blogger, social media influencer, if you will, in a way, and they're able to rent out their space for basically advertising. But the thing is that your space still has to produce content, which means that you always have to work it. And you're also limited in how much space you can rent out for advertisement. So, you know, there's pros and cons to that, and you definitely have to build up to get that social influencer level. And so it takes a lot of work to get there. Number 6 is paid subscription. So what that is that if you're an expert in your field and you are going to be offering information in that field, you can set people up on a monthly paid subscription to that, and they will receive information from you. So, for example, coaching, right? So coaching is very popular for this kind of program, whether it be life coaching or whether it be physical fitness coaching. So it's become very popular. But again, you have to be present. You have to be there to make sure that these subscriptions are coming in. The minute you start providing content, very much like online space, then you don't have an audience anymore. Number 7 is the last one. It has been around for a long time, but it definitely got a lot of mixed reviews. So it's basically NM stands for network marketing, MLM stands for multi-level marketing, and then direct sales. And when I say direct sales, I mean online direct sales, not necessarily like going to Canadian Tire or anything like that. Okay, and again, I'm following my script because I can't be rambling on for 3 hours, so I'm staying focused. So the thing is that these are all the ways that you can earn residual income. They all have their pros and cons, and they can all be really great. But I'm actually going to go with the one that I think for, well, what I call the everyday person is the best way to go. Now, one of the questions that you might be thinking is okay, if residual income is so great, how come not many people are doing it, or not enough people, or only, for example, the rich people are doing it? The reason why that it comes down to mindset, okay? Because the thing about residual income is that we've been conditioned to expect the lump sum, okay? For example, you work for 2 weeks, and then you get a paycheck. You get a lump sum at the end of those 2 weeks. Or if you, for example, at Christmas time, you get a company bonus. You get a lump sum, right? They don't just give you a little bit over, 12 months. You get it all at once. Or if you have a property and you sell it, you get it all at once. This lump sum. So this lump sum mentality kind of correlating with that whole instant gratification, okay? And the thing about residual income, and the reason why rich people have the patience to do it, is because they know it's going to be a slow trickle that will eventually get bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't come like a one-horse tsunami towards them. They know that they put in the work at the very beginning, the kind of work that most people don't want to put in, and it's a slow trickle, and then eventually it starts building momentum, okay? So the mindset of the people who are kind of tied to their job mentality is very different than the mindset of people who are into a wealth mentality, okay? So now let's go into, we're doing good so far, aren't we? Okay, we're doing good. So here we go. Why network marketing? Okay, so here's the thing about network marketing and why. Most of you are already doing it. So here's an example. Good Food has a referral program, okay? So if you refer people to that company with your special code and whatnot, you either get a free, meal or a discount on your next order, and things like that. People are already doing it. So here's a couple more I'm going to show you, okay? Here is one from somebody who is an ambassador for this, it's like a rock company. And companies are catching on quick. They're realizing the benefit of network marketing, but they're rephrasing it and calling it being ambassador, okay, or like a referral program. And the reason why is because they're able to cut down on their marketing costs significantly because they realize the power of word of mouth. There's more power in word of mouth than there is in a $3 billion marketing campaign. And so they're realizing that. So what they're doing now is that they're going out there, and here it is. They're actually looking to people and saying, hey, do you want to be an ambassador for what we have for our product? And they will give you a code for you to share with your family and your friends. And you can get either a discount on the next product, or sometimes they give you free merchandise, or sometimes like, for example, like a social influencer thing, they give you a lump sum of money and say, here's money, be our ambassador, thank you very much. And that's kind of more like a sponsorship thing almost, except it's usually a one-time thing or a short-term thing. Once that time is ended, that's it. You get no more money because you're no longer representing that company. And the thing is that, companies are really catching on. They're seeing the benefit of this. And if you look at the next one, even I got approached. Now, this is only one example of being approached. I've been approached a couple times, actually. So this is the most recent one, actually. It was just the other day. And I put up a post on my Instagram, and I got a message and saying, hey, please send at the DM. So I'm like, okay, hi, how can I help you? And they're asking me if I could promote one of their products. And by doing so, I get to get a discount, And the thing is that we do this all the time. Every day we are recommending some of the most awesome things that we have or that we like, or, you know, hey, I love this backpack that I got, or, oh my gosh, I love this IKEA thing. I love IKEA, I really do. You know, we're always recommending things, and companies are trying to capitalize that on that now, because they're realizing that they can save a shit ton of money by getting free ambassadors, people who will promote for free. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to go to is, when we talk about network marketing, why network marketing? Okay, and here's why. Very small investment. Okay, we're not buying a property. You're not investing in stocks and buying 10,000 shares of a company. It's usually a very small investment. Usually about, on the small end, about $30 up to about $1,000. If it's more than $1,000, you need to sit down and check out what kind of a company is asking you to invest in them, because that's a bit extreme. But usually it's about $1,000. Obviously, for some companies or some network marketing companies, the more you invest, the more you get back. They all have different plans and different comps, and I'm going to talk about that just a little bit later. You yourself don't have to have inventory, usually. A good company does not require you to purchase a shitload of stuff and then like keep it in your house and try to sell it off. That's not a great company that you want to really work with. A really good network marketing company has all the inventory taken care of on their own terms, and you don't have to touch it, okay? The other thing is, you don't have to have talent. So I'm going back to the part about royalties. Like, I can't sing. I'm not going to write a book. Might invent a cure for cancer. I don't know. Highly unlikely. So I can't get royalties on anything. So this is something where you don't need to have talent for, and you can just get started right away. Yet that getting started right away, it's turnkey. So some investments that I've had, for example, I was with the franchising business, and I had to invest a lot of money. It was about $20,000 for this one franchise business. And the return on investment on that would not be seen for at least 5 years. And several years had gone by, and I still wasn't seeing the return on investment, even though the business was doing so well. And the thing about that is, again, it's like what I said earlier. They're prepared to do the hard work to get the residual income. But the thing about this is that there wasn't going to be the opportunity for residual income, because it relied completely on me being there. And it was never going to get big enough where I could just live off of residual income. So the thing is that when you go into network marketing, the majority of them are turnkey. They're ready to go. You invest in it, you get started, and within 3-4 months, top, you should be making back the investment money. And a really good comp plan and a really good network marketing company will have that set up for you. There's no startup work. You don't have to create your own website. You don't have to create any kind of like Etsy, Shopify thing. None of that stuff. Everything is provided and ready for you. All of your training is right there for you. All of your materials that you need is right there. You don't have to do all of the grunt work that most businesses have to do when they first start to get up to that level. And you know, the thing about network marketing, because it's almost risk-free, and I say almost because, again, there's a bunch of network marketing companies out there. Some of them are great, some of them are not so great. So the ones that are great, they're risk-free. I will 100% stand behind it and say they are risk-free. If you invest in it, you're going to get your money back at the very least, even if you don't stick with it. The ones that are not so great, you do risk losing some money, or you risk being saddled with a lot of inventory that you can't move. That's not great. So I am going to go over some of the things of how can you find what companies are good for you and what companies are not. But the thing is that when you get started in network marketing and it's doing well, it can be the springboard into the other residual income. So now you're adding other streams of income instead of just one. You can take that money, invest in property, start flipping it. There's an income stream number 2 coming in. Or you can invest it in 10,000 shares of a company. Oh, there's an income stream number 3 working for you, you know. Or maybe you have somebody actually create something, and you, for example, a book, and you published it. Not your book, somebody else's book, but you published it. You're going to get some income off of that. So again, this is the springboard for you creating multiple streams of residual income from. So it's a really good place to start with that. All right. So when it comes to network marketing, I have been involved in 6 of them, and I have researched 28 of them. And I've had them great network marketing companies, and I've had them not so great network marketing companies, to the point where I think I'm still traumatized. And I actually said no for years because I was so negatively affected by the experience that I had that I wanted nothing to do with network marketing, actually with MLM, the multi-level marketing. And I wanted nothing to do with them because it was just such a negative experience that I had with them. So it took a lot of willingness to be open-minded to even reconsider going back into that industry. And I finally did make the choice, but only after researching 28 different up-and-coming companies. So anything brand new, no, I didn't touch. If you never want to go into a company when it's brand new, like less than 5 years old, there's always the risk of it collapsing, and then you lose everything that you worked so hard for. So you definitely want to go with companies that have been at least 5 years, definitely 10, 20 years, because then it's really standing the test of time. And so I finally did all these research on 28 different companies and said yes to one of them. And, you know, started researching some more, said yes to a couple more. So every company is different. And, you know, even if they are different, they can both be good. So here's something that I'm going to be going over with you on this, okay? So hear me out. When you are with a network marketing company, you get to make all the decisions for yourself. So you are a business owner, but you're self-employed, but you don't have to rely on your own time. At first, yes. You put in that 6 months of hard work, for sure, you're going to reap the benefits of that. But again, the thing about networking companies and why a lot of people are like, oh, but it doesn't work. You know what? It does. You get what you put in. So I'm going to move along here. I probably skipped a couple of chapters here. So if they're here. That's what a lot of people say. Isn't it a pyramid scheme? And I can understand people's hesitation. You want to know what a pyramid scheme is? If you look at this, look at actually Walmart pyramid. Okay? So Walmart, I think, is one of the biggest pyramid schemes out there. You've got your CEO at the very top, who is making $35 million a year. $35 million a year. You keep going all the way down, okay? And you look down to the very bottom, which is basically your greeters and your maintenance clerk and your stair clerk, door clerk, things like that. And they're making, so this is off of the American, which is why it says $8.75 an hour. But basically, they're only making $13,000 a year. To me, that's a pyramid scheme, okay? And in Canada, pyramid schemes are illegal. So any company that operates in Canada has to abide by those guidelines. So they're not pyramid schemes. Some of them can be crappy companies, but they're not pyramid schemes, okay? You want to look at what a real pyramid scheme is? Go look at maybe some of the corporations that are right there, okay? You've got the workers at the bottom, okay? You've got the managers, and then you've got like the CEOs, and like those are pyramid schemes. Because the guy at the top relies on all the money from the bottom coming in to make him his $35 million a year. That's how that works. If you look at multi-level marketing or network marketing or direct sales, it doesn't work that way. It's actually the other way around. I'll show you here. So if you look at this diagram, this is what it really looks like, okay? Network marketing, MLM. Everybody starts at the same level. And your ascension to the top is based completely on yourself, on the work that you put in, what you've invested in. You get to the top on your own terms. Even if somebody else brought you in, or what we call sponsored you in, even if they brought you in, if you're doing more work and better work, you get to bypass that person and hit to the top. So which is really cool, because you don't, in a good network marketing company, you don't have to rely on somebody below you to get you to the top, okay? And in the same vein of that, if you're under someone and that person isn't doing very well, you're not stuck in that role. You're not capped at that level. You can just surpass that person and keep going. So some of the things I want to talk about is why is network marketing, you know, because they do have teams, right? So how does that not look like a pyramid? The thing is that the CEO, in order to be a CEO and grow a company, will look at, you know, the work in front of him or her and say, oh, I need to do 10 times more work, but I'm only just one person. So I need to hire 10 people to help me do this work so that I can grow and expand. okay? It's the same thing with network marketing. When you grow your team, it would be near impossible for you to go out and get 1 million customers. So you grow your team to help you. Hey, this team member takes on 10. This team member maybe takes on 20. This team member maybe takes on, like 100. Whatever everybody's goal is, everybody's pitching in to help out. And then that's why you have that team. But that's why it's not a pyramid, because you're actually more of a pool. You're all working together in the same pool. When somebody does really, really well, guess what? They get to jump out of the pool and have their own pool so that they can keep going. And that's how network marketing, a really good network marketing company, will operate in that way. So, again, that's good. So the thing is that, when you work for corporate, I'm going to say corporate, basically any job, even something like, if you're the handyman at Home Depot, it's still a corporate pyramid. And when you work for them, how high are you really going to go? Are you ever going to be a CEO and get that $35 million? Most likely not. And, trying to get to that level would be a lot of climb, okay? And then, of course, next thing you know, you're 65 and then you have to retire. And so you haven't hit that level. And most people will take decades to get to those levels. So that's why network marketing is a really nice alternative, because, and I've actually seen it, I've witnessed people within a time span of, from the time that they sign up to within 2 years, are making several $1 million a year. And there's no cap, they can keep going. So it's something to think about with, how high do you want to go? And are you in a position to be able to have that kind of growth? Because a lot of jobs out there aren't in that position, and even businesses. And when I say businesses, I mean like even businesses for yourself. How far can you go? And how far can you go where you don't have to physically put in the energy and you can get that time leverage? Maybe you put in 10% energy, but you're still getting 100% income. So what I had said earlier about that there are some good network marketing companies and there's some not so great network marketing companies. So let me go over some of the things that I've experienced, as well as about the research and found out about different companies, why they don't succeed and why people have the perception that they do because of that. So not so great companies will have several levels of advancement. So advancement's great, because advancement means that you get to earn more money. But there are some companies whose advancement level is in the 12, the 15, the 20. And it can be very demoralizing to try and get each of those levels, because a lot of companies that have that many levels usually have you starting back at 0 every 30 days. So even if you achieve a level, for example, say you hit level 4, at the end of that month, you're back to 0, and you have to try and get back up there again. And again, like I said earlier, it's very demoralizing because you're just feeling defeated all the time. And that's not very conducive to success. And some companies will actually have you have to pay a minimum inventory per month. Well, there's only so much that I could buy of something and then try to sell it. Again, the goal was to not have inventory in the house. The goal was not to have constantly be buying things in order to try and resell it, especially when there's an online format available. So that was very frustrating. And so you definitely don't want to be getting involved with companies where they make you every month have to buy a minimum amount of product. And I'm talking every month. And one particular company, I had to buy minimum in order to get my commission check. And it was out of balance. It was like I was spending this much money to make my minimum to get my commission check that was only this much. And that's not a great setup at all. Some other things are, so some of them are sales only. So I'm thinking of one company in particular, and you only make your money through sales, which is fine because, you work at a clothing store or a shoe store, you make commissions, right? So you make your sales and you make your commissions. So nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that when a company only has one way of making money, it's very hard to get ahead, and it's very hard to get into the millionaire status, okay? So you want to find a network marketing company that will actually give you more than one way. So for example, yes, you get commissioned on the sales, but you also get what's called override. So basically, the company will pay you based on how well your team is doing, how well you've trained your team. And then you also, want to work for a company that has cash bonuses. And of course, the car program is always a very popular thing. And that's another additional thing as well. The thing is also to keep in mind is that A lot of companies will pay you to have teams. There's a difference between the money coming from your team and the money coming from the actual company. A really good network marketing company will actually give you money from the company, okay? If they have to take from the team to pay you and therefore put your team in a lower income bracket, if you will, or a lower shares bracket, that's not right. That's not helping the whole team get up there. So a network marketing company that is willing to take the money out of their own pocket and say, here you go, your team did really, really well this month. Here's the money that you're going to earn for it. Thank you very much. Okay, and that allows the team to still keep their own sales and their own commission and be able to promote themselves up. What are some other things here? So I mentioned about the 30-day cycle. So companies that make you have to achieve certain goals and give you 30 days only is not setting you up for success. Companies that give you, usually I want to say 2 to 3 months to achieve. So say you hit, for example, like the level 4 that I mentioned, and there's some companies that you go back to 0 after 30 days. A really good company is going to actually have you stay there and help you stay there and give you time to be able to stay there. Or if you have a quota, for example, that you need to meet, which every business out there, even the sales business or, anywhere, if you remember The Office, Mifflin, Dungeon Mifflin, whatever, they had their sales quota that they had to meet every month, right? So everywhere you go for companies, there's sales quota to meet. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the thing is that if you're only giving a very short window to meet those sales quota, it makes it very difficult to get successful and to get your kind of like your leg up to the next level. So you want to be with companies that give you time to meet those sales quota. And usually if they give you 2 or 3 months, that's a very good sign that they want you to be successful. And that's a very good company there. So what up? I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. I think I have pretty much covered everything on my list. And if I've forgotten anything, I'll make a second video. So we can always do that. So thank you for watching. I know I'm a really fast talker. I hope you got everything that I was trying to say. If you have any questions, you can definitely send them my way. At the end of this actually should be my handle. I think if I hit play, they're going to show up. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there it is. All right, so there you go. There's my handle. If you ever want to reach out to me, you can send me messages. I'd be more than happy to answer your question. I'm probably going to do another video because there's just so much information about this field of income that I could go on and on and on. So thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.